Yo, whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today. Today we're going to be talking about Pokemon Go and some new features that I'd love to see them integrate in the game in the future. Now in this video I'm going to be breaking down 5 awesome ideas that I'd love to see in Pokemon Go, and I'm really curious to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So let me know if you agree with any of these ideas, or if you have some ideas that you might think are better for Pokemon Go to make the gameplay and experience better moving forward. And of course, be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe if you guys are new for daily Pokemon content. Now I'm not gonna waste any time, let's just kind of jump into things. The first thing I'd love to see in Pokemon Go is a Shiny Incense. Now there's a lot of talk about a Shiny Charm being added, which was integrated in the Generation 5 of the main series games, kind of carried through 6 and 7, and ultimately into Let's Go and Pikachu and Eevee. So the Shiny Charm is a key item that allows you to boost your Shiny rate by 3 times, and we know that when a player plays Pokemon Go, that a Pokemon can be Shiny for them and not for someone else playing right next to them. So Shiny chance seems to be independent for each person, and every time you click on that Pokemon, there's an independent chance of finding a Shiny. Now how this Shiny is coded in the game, I'm not actually sure, but ultimately we do know that it's different for each person, so it seems possible that they can apply some sort of a boost per basically account that is going to increase the Shiny chances for that person. Now we know right now that the default Shiny chance in the wild in Pokemon Go is roughly about 1 in 450, so if you were to click on 450 Murkrows, there's a decent chance that you would find one Shiny Pokemon. However, there's people who will click on thousands of Murkrows and not find one, and there's people who will click on one Murkrow and find a Shiny in the first try. So it's really a matter of luck. But having some way to increase your Shiny chance could be a really cool way for Pokemon Go to increase the Shiny hunting capabilities in the game, but also increase their revenue stream. And I want to focus on that topic for just a moment and just mention that anytime you come up with a new feature, a new idea for a game like Pokemon Go, you have to kind of make sure that it makes sense for the company as well. And obviously they're trying to make money too. So by integrating an incense as opposed to a Shiny Charm, they can basically make it so people can basically buy more incense and increase their Shiny chances. So kind of what I'm envisioning is, think of the normal incense where it lasts for 30 minutes and it's going to give you a new spawn every 5 minutes. If you're moving, it's going to increase your spawn rate. Pretty simple stuff. A Shiny Incense would basically do the same thing, where it would last for 30 minutes, but it wouldn't impact your spawn rate at all. Your spawns would stay the same, but anytime you clicked on a Pokemon that had a chance to be a Shiny, it would actually increase the odds that that Pokemon would be Shiny. Maybe it would double your chances or triple your chances like in the main series games, but even so, going from 1 in 450 to about 1 in 250 or 1 in 225 or whatever it may be isn't really that big of a jump. Like, you'd still have to burn through incense and stuff, but it's a big enough increase that I think it would encourage people, myself, to pretty much play Pokemon Go with incenses or Shiny Incenses on at all times. So this would be a really easy way for them to make a lot of money in the store by people spending coins on these things, and also give players like myself an opportunity to play the game and hopefully find Shinies at a higher frequency to make the game a little bit more enjoyable or whatever it may be. So we'll talk a little bit about more Shiny stuff in the future of this video, but definitely something I'd like to see. And kind of on the flip side, a Shiny Charm, which would have maybe a default cost, maybe 1,000 coins or 2,000 coins or whatever it may be, and have a set chance, would be good as well. But I think there'd be people who would want to turn it off at times and maybe want to hunt full odds, or maybe want to get tired of the Shiny Incense or whatever it may be. So I think having it as a consumable item that takes 30 minutes or lasts 30 minutes is probably the best approach for this kind of an item. Now, a number 2 on this countdown here, or this list, is pretty interesting, and I really feel like a feature that I'd love to see integrated, and that is simply the ability to invite your friends to raids. Now, I know all my rural players out there, hit that like button if you're a rural player. You know the struggle of playing Pokemon Go. You go out, you see a raid, you see a Dialga raid or a Rayquaza raid, and you can't do it because there's just no one around you to play, and you can't do that raid. You can't even do a 4-star raid because there's just no one around, and you can't solo it because you're not the most optimal 40 level player and all yada yada. You don't have the optimal counters and whatever else, and I'm with you because I'm not that player either. So have the ability to invite your friends to raids. Simple as that. I'm not saying, you know, Joe Schmo, who you just sent 1 gift to, you got 1 heart, you guys can hang out in a raid. No, I'm saying if you guys are ultra friends, 3 hearts or above, you should be able to invite 1 friend to each raid. It consumes their raid pass, which is exactly what Niantic wants. The raid pass gets consumed, and they get to play in the raid remotely. There's no reason why you can't do this. There's a plethora of people who spoof in this game or who hack in this game to basically fake their GPS signal to play in raids in the city and whatever else they're doing. And this is basically kind of a way to do that without cheating, right? You basically say, hey, I'm at a raid right now for Rayquaza. You may be across the country, but you can play Pokemon Go right now as well. Why don't you join me on this raid? We can take down this raid together and we can battle it out. And I don't really see how that's gonna be any sort of a negative. I guess the only negative I could think of is just the fact that you know, maybe like you lock people out of that group if they were trying to play in it themselves. But you know, like if someone's physically at the raid, maybe they can't get into the group because people invited too many friends. But I don't see how that's an issue, because you could always just make a new group and you basically could essentially double the amount of people that would be there by inviting people. So it would really help out the rural players. It wouldn't really add too much of a disadvantage to the city players, who they're gonna have enough people to play the lobby anyway. Like I tell you guys, I stream Pokemon Go in New York City, and when I go to the city, every raid is full. Like, you have no problems getting into a raid no matter where you are. You look around and like, where are the people? But the raid's full. You know what I mean? So just having that opportunity for more players to be able to raid with more people just seems like a really solid way for people to consume their raid passes, get the Pokemon they want, and ultimately just make everyone happier when it comes to the raiding system, which is such a crucial piece of Pokemon Go and just how the game functions, is getting those really powerful Pokemon through raids. Another idea that I think would be really cool is having an in-game location to heal your Pokemon. I don't know about you guys, but that 2,000 bag capacity limit is just not doing it for me anymore. I really can't fit all the items I have when I have like 200 raid passes that I just randomly have stocked up. I have all these raspberries and things like that that I don't want to consume all the time. I've got my pineapples, which I cherish. I've got a ton of Pokeballs and Ultra Balls and Great Balls just in case I ever need them. And then, you know, I got potions and revives up the wazoo, and then my bag space is full. So the thing that gets cut is my potions and revives, but I feel like I have to hang on to some of them because you never know when I have a big raid day and I need them, and then it's a struggle. So just throw a couple spots on the map, you know, here and there, replace a gym, or make a gym function as a Pokemon Center and a gym, and it's not that crazy. Maybe change a Pokestop every X amount of blocks in the game to also function as a Pokemon Center. Just give us an opportunity to be able to go to a location in the game and heal your Pokemon up, or even heal up just 3 Pokemon a day, or whatever it is. It's such a minor thing, and it really doesn't impact anything negatively, because I would imagine a lot of players just throw their revives and potions out, and it's not like you're going into the shop to buy potions and revives. You get those just from spinning Pokestops anyway. So I think it'd be a really cool way to just add another feature in the game. Maybe have some sort of a daily bonus for just going to the Pokemon Center every day or something like that. It seems really simple, and it seems kind of weird that there's not a Pokemon Center in the game as it is. I know the shop is already built into the app, so you don't need a mart, but having a Pokemon Center could be kind of a cool small addition that really wouldn't be that difficult to implement and really doesn't take away anything from the gameplay itself. The next idea I had was a catch combo type system, and this really kind of spurred from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee and the catching mechanic in that game. And I obviously look at Pokemon Go and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee as being relatively connected to each other. And in Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, there's a shiny hunting mechanic, very simply put, where you can catch the same Pokemon multiple times in a row, and by doing so you increase your combo. By increasing your combo, you're also increasing the stats of the Pokemon that you're finding, as well as your chance to find a shiny of that particular species. So if I go into Viridian Forest and I catch a Weedle, and then I catch another Weedle, and I keep catching Weedles and I don't catch anything else, and Weedle never runs for me, I'll ultimately get a catch combo going. Once I hit a certain point in that catch combo, my chance of getting a shiny is also going to increase, and it's not guaranteed. You can still spend hours doing this, but it's a cool way to shiny hunt, and I would love to see some sort of shiny hunting mechanic added to Pokemon Go, and the catch combo mechanic seems to be like a really good fit for this game. Simply put, you can walk out into the wild, maybe there's an event going on, and you say, okay, the newest shiny is Trico. I'm gonna catch a Trico, and as I continue to catch Tricos and not have them run away from me, I can run from them, but if they run away from me, it breaks my combo. The combo is displayed in the top corner, and I can just continue to combo up the Pokemon. As my combo increases, my chance of finding a shiny increases, and ultimately I'm able to find that shiny during the event. Now, I can imagine there's a lot of people who would say, well, I want to get 20 shinies during the community day, but I feel like that honestly is a little less special. Like, community day shinies are great, and I'm a big fan of them, but ultimately walking away with 15 or 20 shinies during community day just doesn't feel like I accomplished anything other than clicked on a bunch of Tricos or whatever it may be, and I found a couple shinies. They have no special, like, appeal to them, in my opinion, once the community day is over. So by instituting a catch combo event kind of thing, you can basically say, okay, I'm going to combo up Tricos, and as I get up to that 30 Trico mark in a row or whatever, my chance of finding a shiny is going to go through the roof, and then ultimately I'll probably find a shiny pretty easily, and then my combo resets, and then I do it again. And then, you know, instead of finding 15 Tricos during community day that are shiny, maybe you find 3 because you have time to do a couple combos, but those shinies are all going to be really good because they're going to have those boosted stats as well, because as your combo increases, the floor of which your IVs are is also going to increase, so you'll maybe get better competitive shinies. And I don't know about you guys, but that's what I would honestly prefer. Like, I would much prefer a system where you're comboing for a Pokemon in Pokemon Go to ultimately find a shiny, as opposed to just like a 1 in 25 chance to just find a million of the community shinies during the event and whatever else. And outside of a community day, this would still apply. Like, you could obviously still find a full odds 1 in 450 shiny, but if I really went to a nest and I found a Ghastly nest, let's say, and I'm in a Ghastly nest and I don't catch anything but Ghastlies, I just catch Ghastly after Ghastly after Ghastly in this Ghastly nest, and they don't run away from me, I get my combo up, my chance of getting a shiny Ghastly is also going to be increased, and then I can hopefully walk away from that nest after a few hours or maybe 2 hours or whatever of just catching Ghastlies with a shiny Ghastly. I'm happy, Niantic's happy, yeah, everyone's happy. Like, you know what I mean? And then your combo resets and you gotta do it again. And obviously certain Pokemon can't have shiny forms and whatever else, which is fine, but you're also gonna increase the IV floor of those Pokemon too. So maybe at a combo of 30, the floor is 12, 12, 12. So you can't have anything worse than that. You wouldn't get like a 3 IV attack Pokemon. But those are just some simple ideas that I think would be really cool. And the last thing I want to talk about, which really focuses on the IVs as well, is bottle caps. Bottle caps were integrated in Generation 7 in Sun and Moon and Ultra Sun and Moon, and then carried over to Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, and they are a tremendous feature. At first I was a little sketched out about them, but basically what they do is they take your stat, whatever it is in Pokemon Go, 0 to 15, and it's gonna max that stat out. So say I have a Heracross that has a 12 attack stat, but I really love that Heracross, I can max its attack stat out with a bottle cap. And a lot of people would be like, well, then that's gonna ruin the purpose of my 100 IV whatever that I went and grinded for. Well, that doesn't really take away anything from your gameplay experience, but it could make someone else's gameplay experience better. And if they limit the distribution of these bottle caps and make it so they only work for one stat at a time, it could actually be a really cool integration to the game. Think about silver pineapple berries and how rare those are. I mean, yeah, there's a few quests where you can get a few here and there, and you can get some special tasks done and whatever else, and you maybe end up with a few, you know, silver pineapples here and there, but they are relatively rare. Same with things like distribution through special research and stuff. Some of these items can be pretty pretty hard to come across. So if they limited the distribution of a bottle cap and made it so, okay, you can only get 1 bottle cap a month or whatever it may be, or they're very limited, then they could actually be a really cool item. Because I know personally I have some really cool shinies that I love, like my shiny Banette and my shiny Hariyama, and honestly the stats on them are pretty bad. So it's, you know, not as beneficial for me to spend the time to power them up and like cherish that shiny, whereas if I had the ability to bottle cap them, max out their stats, I could really get the full potential out of this Pokemon that I was lucky enough to find, but unlucky enough to get really bad stats on. So seems like a really easy way to integrate. I can't imagine it's that difficult to say, okay, I'm going to take this Pokemon, I'm going to max out one of its 3 stats, and then that's going to show as perfect, and then it's going to function as perfect, and you simply raise the CP of that Pokemon. And again, if the distribution of these bottle caps were pretty limited, it wouldn't be that big of a deal to integrate them into the game, because they wouldn't be overpowered, they wouldn't take away from anything else, but simply just allow people to enhance certain Pokemon that maybe are their favorites. Like if you happen to have a really, really cool, you know, Dialga that's 14, 15, 15, and you just want to get that attack just a little bit better, but you have no way to do it, and you can't rate it anymore because it's gone, you can bottle cap it and get it up to a perfect 100% Pokemon. So those are just a couple simple ideas for Pokemon Go that I'd love to see them integrate in the future. Feel free to tag Pokemon Go in this video. If you share it on Twitter, it would help me out, and it would also help maybe the community out, because maybe they'll integrate some of these. I definitely see some of these coming into fruition. Like, I don't see why they can't do a Shiny Incense or a bottle cap, or maybe the inviting friends to raids. Like, these are all possible things that are pretty realistic, and I tried to give, you know, the perspective of Niantic and the perspective of the fans. So hopefully we can see some of these improvements added. Of course, if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you guys are new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.